Welcome to Supply Chain Short Takes, a brief discussion with an industry expert on important issues affecting supply chain management. I'm David Maloney, the Group Editorial Director at DC Velocity. Joining me today is Michael Walsh. He's the CEO of Green Cubes Technology, a role he's held for the past 2 years. And prior to Green Cubes, he spent 30 years working with General Electric. Welcome, Michael. It's good to have you with us.
Great. Thanks for having me.
For those who are not familiar with Green Cubes technology, can you share just a little bit about your company and its role in the industry?
Yeah, Green Cubes has been around for 30 years. It's a technology business, really a pioneer in lithium-ion battery power systems. The last 5 or 7 years have been really rapid growth as we've gotten into different verticals, more in material handling, ground support equipment, and just every manufacturing plant in the United States is a candidate for lithium because it's a technology that's more prevalent. So it's a great business. We've got people in Asia, Europe. We've got engineers around the world. We've got manufacturing right here in the U.S. in Kokomo, Indiana. And we've got some great people and some great customers.
And you mentioned about the growth of lithium. And as we close out 2024, how would you summarize the past year in the industry?
Yeah, it's amazing how lithium has become the sexy uh, subject that everyone wants to research and learn about to being something people are comfortable with. Industry events 5 years ago, there'd be a room packed of people asking questions, and now there's half a room and everybody's comfortable with it. So lithium is definitely proven its merit. And you're thinking about those 5 years. For us, we've got installed base of batteries that are working 7, 10 years, and they're still performing very well. So the ROIs have been really, really great. So I'd say in the past year, 2024, it's continuing on sort of that journey, which is not only the sustainability goals, but driving productivity for customers. At the end of the day, I've been around a lot of initiatives that try to drive productivity, energy efficiency, sustainability. And if the ROI is there, it gets legs. If it's not, it slows down. So we're seeing 2024 and beyond really accelerating lithium just because it has a great ROI.
It does. And you mentioned a couple of the reasons why it's becoming a popular choice for material handling power systems. Are there other reasons why people are selecting lithium-ion batteries?
Yeah, what's interesting, what I didn't really realize is that you go to a manufacturing plant, usually when you adopt technology, there's a change management issue. People like the old way. It may not be great, it might be inefficient, but they're just comfortable with it. We're seeing with lithium, the operators of forklifts, especially, they love it. They love it because it makes their life easier compared to lead acid batteries. It's not as messy. You don't have a big footprint, a lay down space, and you're just more comfortable. Safety reasons why, because there's no watering and things to that effect. And basically, the experience for them as an operator is better. So the company gets an ROI. The operators like it. So the change management of everything sewing together is really rapid. Especially we see that in plants that have gotten past the learning curve, right? They have their first installation, their first set of equipment. It really accelerates from there. And you don't have a problem with the front office because the finance team, the CFO, they're seeing the return on the investment. So we move on to the next plant. So it's really seeing benefits from both economics and operator in addition to sustainability.
Yeah, and those are important reasons why I think lithium has been catching on so much in the past couple of years. You've been around the industry for a long time. So what would you say is the most exciting thing that you see happening right now within our supply chain industry?
As somebody that grew up for 30 years, basically working in every manufacturing plant, mostly in the United States, but globally. But I can think of in the United States towns I've lived in, Flint, Michigan, Cleveland, you name it, these classic manufacturing towns. We're seeing those towns have revitalization. We're seeing supply chain operations being localized in the United States, efficiency happening, automation being added, technology at the forefront, and just sort of a next generation in these towns and cities, which is really great to see. And just in general, we're seeing that wave of that, almost to the point where, supply chains have had record demand for orders and cycle times have been lengthened. We're seeing that get back in, especially post the pandemic. So I think we're seeing post pandemic the realities of supply chain is caught up to speed. It's settled into kind of a new norm, and especially in the United States, there's a great return on investment. So the future is really looking great for, especially the things that we do. But in general, I'd say the industry of supply chain and manufacturing, warehouses, especially in the U.S.
It is an exciting industry to be in, and it's fun for us to cover it. Do you have any other final thoughts as we wrap our conversation?
Yeah, I just think as leading this company, I just want to take a second to thank everybody. I've only been around a few years, but when I came in, there was such rapid growth. There was definitely some growing pains. So we saw some places where we really had to get serious about fixing things. So one thing for us is we start every meeting with quality, and people get surprised. And we even do it with HR and finance in the functional meetings, so they get to the point where they're used to it. But that's really our core is having not only technology, rapid growth markets, but having the discipline to what I call the killer P's, processes, focusing on the basics. But really going into next year, a lot of it's going to be people development. We want to be the place where people feel like they can go from working on the shop floor to moving into the front office or going out to customer facing roles. We're seeing that a lot. So again, kind of the theme of U.S. manufacturing. We've got a place in the heartland in Kokomo, Indiana. We're just really thrilled with that team. And it's an example of the kind of things that we're excited about, the growth of the U.S. manufacturing sector, and in our case, taking care of our people and develop them. So the profits come when we focus on the other stuff. And for us, the company's gotten very, very healthy, and we really appreciate everybody that's been on that journey the last couple of years with us.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that. How would someone get more information about some of the technologies we've talked about today?
Right on our website, greencubes.com. You can find everything from products, service, who our people are, some customer testimonials. You can calculate an ROI there. You can get located with one of our channel partners that can help you with power studies and all those kind of things you need to make sure you're going to get productivity from the investment. So greencubes.com.
It's a great resource. Thank you again, Michael, for being with us today.
Thank you.
We've been talking today with Michael Walsh. He's the Chief Executive Officer at Green Cubes Technology, and this has been Supply Chain Short Takes.